My best friend slept with my fiancé the night before our wedding, so I gave her exactly what she wanted. Celeste had been my maid of honor since kindergarten. We'd planned matching weddings since we were 12, complete with Pinterest boards and vendor lists. When I got engaged to Harrison, she threw me the most elaborate bachelorette party our town had ever seen. "You're so lucky," she'd say, adjusting my veil during dress fittings. "Harrison's perfect. Too perfect, apparently." The night before my wedding, I couldn't sleep. At 2 a.m., I decided to surprise Harrison with coffee and leftover cake from the rehearsal dinner. His apartment was dark, except for one window. I used my key, expecting to find him stressed about his vows. Instead, I found Celeste's bridesmaid dress crumpled on his kitchen floor. I stood frozen, listening to familiar laughter from his bedroom. My heart shattered and rebuilt itself into something harder in the span of 30 seconds. I grabbed Celeste's phone from the counter. She'd always been careless with it, using my birthday as her passcode. What I found in her messages destroyed any remaining doubt. Texts to Harrison going back 8 months. Plans to steal him from me. Detailed discussions about my insecurities, my family's financial struggles, my fears. She'd been feeding him everything. But the worst part? Her messages to her sister. "Once I break them up, I'll finally have the wedding I deserve. Her family can't afford half what mine can. Harrison will see the difference." I screenshotted everything and left silently. The next morning, Celeste arrived at the bridal suite acting concerned about my cold feet. She helped me into my dress, fixed my makeup, and held my bouquet while I took photos with Mom. "Ready to marry the man of your dreams?" she asked, squeezing my hand. "Absolutely," I smiled. "Thank you for making this possible." When the processional music started, I walked down that aisle with complete confidence. 300 guests rose to their feet. Harrison waited at the altar in his perfect tuxedo, grinning like he'd won the lottery. The officiant asked if anyone objected to our union. I raised my hand. "I do," I announced clearly. "I object to marrying a cheating liar." The church erupted. Harrison's face went white. Celeste started toward me, but I held up my phone. "I have screenshots," I said, projecting my voice to the back row. 8 months of planning to betray me, from my maid of honor and my fiancé. I'd sent everything to the wedding photographer that morning, with instructions to display the evidence on the reception screens if I gave the signal. Harrison proposed to me, I continued, but Celeste wanted my wedding, so I'm giving it to her. I pulled off my engagement ring and tossed it at her feet. "You wanted to be the bride so badly? Congratulations! You can have him, the venue, the flowers, and the bill. It's all yours." Harrison stammered apologies. Celeste stood frozen, her face crimson as 300 people stared. Both mothers were crying for completely different reasons. I walked back down that aisle alone, head high, while chaos erupted behind me. By the time I changed clothes, Celeste's parents had been handed a $47,000 reception bill they couldn't cancel. Harrison had been cornered by my 3 brothers who'd played college football. 6 months later, Celeste and Harrison got married at the courthouse. No friends attended. Her parents are still paying off my wedding debt. I'm happily single and every date knows the story. Turns out, men find loyalty incredibly attractive.